In the bustling heart of Kampala, in the crowded suburb of Aguda, lived a young girl named Nantongo Juliet. At 16, she was the picture of gentle strength and classic Buganda beauty. Her days were a tapestry of school and work, helping her widowed mother, Mama Nantongo, sell fruit in front of their small, rented mud brick home. Life was a daily struggle since her father's tragic death 5 years prior, but their bond was unbreakable. Juliet, with her neatly plaited hair and faded kitten's wrapper, was a familiar sight, her voice rising above the street noise as she hawked her wares. One sweltering afternoon, Juliet balanced a tray of colorful fruits on her head, calling out fresh fruits here, sweet oranges, ripe bananas. Her routine was second nature. She knew which streets were profitable and which corners to avoid. A well-dressed man approached, his sharp eyes and thin smile unsettling. He asked the price of oranges, then proposed a large purchase at his nearby house. The promise of a big sale was a powerful temptation. The money was desperately needed. Despite her mother's warnings never to follow strangers, Juliet agreed. They walked much farther than she expected, down a quiet, unfamiliar street. An uncompleted building with a large gate loomed before them. Inside, the man's friendly mask dropped, replaced by a predatory gaze. "What do you want me to pack?" Juliet asked, her voice trembling, the tray still on her head. He didn't answer. He just moved closer. With a flash of terror, Juliet understood his intentions. Her heart hammered against her ribs. She threw the tray, sending fruit scattering across the dusty floor, and bolted for the gate. He was too fast. He grabbed her arm, dragging her back inside. Juliet screamed, a desperate primal sound, but the thick walls swallowed her cries. That evening, in the cold silence of that unfinished building, her innocence was stolen. Broken and bruised, she fled home, leaving her sandals and fruit tray behind. She found her mother asleep and crept into bed, her shame a heavy secret she would carry alone. The next day, a Sunday, her mother didn't notice the missing tray. Juliet used her meager savings to replace the fruit, pretending she'd sold everything. She buried the trauma deep inside, a silent wound that festered. She avoided that street, haunted by the fear of seeing him again. 2 months passed. Juliet began to notice changes in her body. Her appetite was strange and her stomach felt different. She wore looser clothes, hoping her mother wouldn't see. Mama Nantongo's knowing eyes missed nothing. One evening, as the light faded, she sat Juliet down. "Juliet, what's wrong?" she asked gently. Juliet mumbled that she was fine, unable to meet her gaze. Later that night, her mother waited for her at the door, her expression serious. She placed a hand on Juliet's stomach, and in the deafening silence, she whispered, "You're pregnant." Juliet collapsed, sobs racking her body. "I'm sorry, Mama. You forced me." Mama Nantongo held her daughter, tears streaming down her own face. There was no anger, only shared pain. "It's not your fault, my child," she whispered. "This wicked world took advantage of you." The shock was too much for Mama Nantongo. Her health, already fragile from hypertension, deteriorated rapidly. Juliet became her mother's constant caretaker, overwhelmed by a crushing sense of guilt. She prayed, she bought medicine, she sat by her mother's bedside, watching her sleep. One evening, Mama Nantongo called Juliet close, her breath shallow. "Promise me you'll fight," she rasped. "Stay strong for your child." Juliet choked out a promise as her mother's hand trembled on her face. "You are my pride," she whispered, and with one last shuddering breath, she was gone. Juliet's scream tore through the night. Her mother's brother came to take the body for burial in their home village. But there was no comfort for Juliet. Enraged by her pregnancy, her uncle called her cruel names and gave her a small amount of money. "Go back to Aguda," he said coldly. "I can't feed you and a child." Back in Aguda, more heartbreak awaited. The landlord demanded a full year's rent, which Juliet couldn't possibly pay. A week later, he returned with several men, threw her belongings into the red earth street, and locked the door with a giant padlock. "You and your bastard baby, find somewhere else," he shouted. Her pleas were ignored. Homeless, pregnant, and utterly alone, Juliet stood weeping under an indifferent sky. Her lonely journey began. She wandered far from Aguda, the streets becoming her home, slept wherever she could find shelter, hunger, and despair, her constant companions. As her delivery date neared, she found refuge in an abandoned bus in a busy park. One night at 11:30 p.m., the labor pains began. She screamed for help, but no one came. The pain was immense, but she pushed through it alone in the dark. Then, a tiny cry pierced the silence. The pain vanished, replaced by a new reality. She picked up her baby. "It's a boy," she whispered through tears. She wrapped him in an old blanket, fear eclipsing any joy. For a moment, she considered leaving him, hoping a kind stranger would find him. But when his tiny hand weakly clutched her dress, her heart broke. "I'm sorry, my baby," she cried. "I don't know how to be a mother." As morning light filled the bus park, women setting up their market stalls noticed her. "This girl has suffered," one cried out. A commotion grew as they gathered around, their hearts moved by her plight. They bathed the baby in warm water, gave him diapers and clothes, and brought Juliet food and water. Overwhelmed by their kindness, Juliet sobbed. An older woman, Mama Nambi, watched her for a long time. "Can't stay here with a newborn," she said. "It's too dangerous," Juliet whispered. "I have nowhere to go." Mama Nambi's response changed everything. "You do now," she said. "Come with me." A 45-minute bus ride took them to a modest house that felt like a palace to Juliet. Mama Nambi fed her, cared for her, and helped her name the baby Chisholm, which means God is with me. Juliet, filled with gratitude, helped around the house, slowly healing. Mama Nambi enrolled Chisholm in nursery school and became a true grandmother to him. Juliet took on small jobs, saving every coin she earned. The years passed. Chisholm grew into a bright, curious boy. Juliet, once a broken girl on the streets, found her strength. She had lost a mother, but found another. And in the depths of despair, she discovered the unbreakable power of a mother's love and the profound kindness of strangers. Thank you for watching. If you were moved by Juliet's story, please follow and subscribe for more content that inspires.